On the Season 1 finale of The Mandalorian, our reluctant hero and newest Star Wars icon took enough of a tumble to necessitate removing his helmet and giving us a look at his bloody, battered visage. Here's why Pedro Pascal, the actor under the helmet, looks so familiar. You might have heard about that plucky little fantasy program Game of Thrones once or twice in the past, but you may not immediately remember that Pedro Pascal got his own turn on the program during its 4th season. He held a recurring role as Prince Oberyn Martell, also known as the Viper, an utterly unflappable duelist/prisoner from the nation of Dorne.
You shouldn't drink before a fight.
You learned this during your years in the fighting pits. I always drink before a fight.
Despite appearing on only 7 episodes of Game of Thrones, Pascal's footprint is still legible on the series, even after its end, both for his character's snappy attitude and his incredibly gruesome death at the hands of the Mountain during a trial by combat. Playing Oberyn earned Pascal sex symbol status, and before becoming the Mandalorian, it was his most high-profile role. He was recognized as a standout performer in what is often regarded as one of the best overall seasons of Game of Thrones, and his career only began to soar from there. Following Game of Thrones, Pascal landed a starring role as DEA agent Javier Peña for 3 seasons on the Netflix historical crime drama Narcos. The series charts the history of the international investigation into and eventual capture of infamous cartel lord Pablo Escobar. Pascal consulted with real-life agent Peña to properly depict the man's ideological struggle with the war on drugs futility and the culture of extreme violence and corruption perpetrated by both the illegal trade itself and the law enforcement effort made to curb it. Narcos might be more of a niche selection for the general Netflix original consuming audience, but the show earned Pascal a large amount of positive praise. The series ended in 2017 after its 3rd season and was spun off into a Pascal-free follow-up series about the development of the major Mexican drug cartels entitled Narcos Mexico. Like every other starving 20-something actor living in New York City in the 1990s and 2000s, Pedro Pascal landed a few one-episode roles on the various versions of the Law & Order franchise, which you may recognize him from if you have an incredible memory. Another of Pascal's many TV credits include a brief recurring role on Graceland, USA Network's law enforcement drama about undercover federal agents living out of a confiscated house in California. He appeared only on the 1st season as an FBI agent and the subject of an internal investigation, who comes into violent conflict with other characters on the show. You may also remember Pascal from the 6th season of The Mentalist, in which he played another FBI agent, Marcus Pike.
Beard looks good. It's for an undercover thing.
Turning to lesser-known movies, Pascal appeared in the 2018 film Prospect, which, curiously enough, considering his shiny new job as a Mandalorian, is a sci-fi western. Pascal portrayed Ezra, a prospector for gems on an alien moon who allies with the teenaged main character C during a test of survival in an environment that's both ecologically and socially toxic. The movie didn't receive wide release, despite garnering positive chatter at festivals and being very well received on Rotten Tomatoes, but you can catch it on Amazon Prime. Prior to that role, Pascal appeared in the 2015 comedy horror film Blood-Sucking Bastards. Pascal stars as the evil sales manager Mac, who is also secretly living as a vampire to the horrified discovery of his employees Evan and Tim. This too is a movie that isn't exactly going to enter into the annals of cinematic history, but Office Space plus vampires equals wholesome B-movie horror schlock. The last few years have seen Pascal land roles in higher-profile movies, including The Equalizer 2 and If Beale Street Could Talk. Being a part of the Star Wars universe doesn't quite count as existing within the superhero genre, but no worry. Like most relatively high-profile actors today, Pedro Pascal's got a couple of cape films under his belt. In 2017, Pascal played the American cowboy spy operative Agent Whiskey in Kingsman: The Golden Circle, the sequel to the 2014 original that's based on the comic book series Kingsman. Reviews for The Golden Circle were middling at best, but just like its first iteration, Kingsman: Secret Service, the flick is chock full of gratuitous slow-mo and cartoonish violence. But this time, Pedro Pascal is there sporting a Stetson. Pascal's next comic book movie role is yet to come. Pascal will be joining the DC Cinematic Universe in June 2020 as one of the antagonists of Wonder Woman 1984, Maxwell Lord. He's a peak 80s greed is good kind of villain, and apparently has magic crystals that grant wishes. We still aren't sure what Maxwell Lord's end goal is as a supervillain, but we can't tell you how excited we are to see Pascal chew some scenery. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.